If we may, let's bow our heads for a moment of silence and reflection. All right, thank you very much. And we'll call this meeting, the regular monthly meeting in the town of Holden Beach, to order. And say welcome to all of you that are in this room and those of you that are on the airways. And let's stand and pledge allegiance to the flag on my right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, let's look at number 4 on the agenda, and that's the consideration of approving the agenda as presented. Is there a motion or otherwise?
I would like to add one item to the agenda. Commissioner Murdoch and I are sponsoring this one. I'd like to add to the executive session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A5 to establish or instruct staff or agent concerning the negotiation of the price or terms of a contract concerning the acquisition of real property.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended, or do you want to officially amend it and then approve it? We can do it that way. Either way. Is there a motion to add that to the agenda?
Motion.
Second, Mr. Brown.
Yes.
All in favor of adding that to the agenda?
Aye.
Okay. Is there a motion we approve the amended agenda?
Make a motion.
Second.
Okay. Motion made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimously approved as amended. Number 5, the consideration of approving the minutes of March 23rd, 10 o'clock meeting, March 23rd, 4 o'clock meeting, April 7, emergency meeting, and regular meeting on April 21st, and special meeting on April 23rd. Is there a motion to approve?
Mr. Mayor, I got 3 either misspellings or the word had an extra letter in it. I'll be glad to call them out now or just give it to the clerk afterwards, but it doesn't change the content of the minutes. You want me to go ahead and do it?
The spelling is actually, I mean, if it's a word like that, you could always tell me that.
Okay. All right, never mind.
I have one amendment on page 17. I guess it's about 4 or 5 paragraphs down. It says, Commissioner Sullivan inquired if the town has occurred any expenses. It should be incurred, IN, instead of OC.
Got that, Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir.
Anything else? Okay.
I make a motion, we approve all the minutes together as presented.
Second.
As presented or as correct?
That's correct, excuse me.
Okay. Everybody understand the motion as corrected? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. It's unanimously approval of all the minutes presented, A through E. Number 6, public comments on agenda, general items. Do we have anything, Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir. We have one comment. Would you like me to read it?
I would appreciate the reading of that.
Okay. I know you all are aware of the recent fire on Ocean Boulevard. While one of the homes belonged to a non-resident, the home at 1016 OBW belonged to a full-time resident. To date, she has had no contact with anyone from the town reaching out to her to offer any expression of support or concern. Would this not be something that the town government would consider as a goodwill gesture for someone who has experienced the loss of their full-time and only home? Thank you, Laura Throckmorton.
Another thing I'll say to that is there is something in the mail from me representing the town and the commissioners in regards to that. Hopefully the owners will receive it before the end of the week.
And I did send her an email.
Yeah, I did.
All right. Anything else, Madam Clerk?
No, sir.
Okay, number 7, Mr. Hewitt, the generator.
Yes, sir. Last month, the board requested or directed me to acquire some additional information regarding the informal solicitation for the generator replacement. That information is contained on page 32. I direct your attention there. I prepared a matrix that outlines the fundamental information by company. Those companies that provided information were Western Branch, James River, and Gregory Pool, all for 150 kW generator. The price for each one, the Western Branch price is $46,000, but that also includes an installation cost of $25,000. In addition to the $46,000, the James River or John Deere price is a turnkey cost of $59,600. Gregory Pool Caterpillar is $69,650, which is also a turnkey job. The information that the board had requested concerned, is there additional warranty available? What is the standard warranty? Those are shown in the matrix. Western Branch is 2 years or 3,000 hours. The John Deere is 2 years or 2,000 hours, and then the Gregory Pool is 4 years. There are additional warranties available, and then the terms of the maintenance agreements are shown probably 80% over toward the right in terms of the frequency, terms, and costs associated with it.
Commissioners, anybody want to speak?
Looks like the Western Branch is pretty significantly out of line up there. My question to you is, what the John Deere, to get to the warranty time period that Caterpillar offers off the bat, is it the $1,000 a year, $995?
Yes.
So you would
Add
add $2,000 to that, so that would make it $2,000 more right off the bat, pretty much. The fuel difference in the John Deere and the Caterpillar, is that
about
a
the same.
concern?
About the same.
284 gallons different. That's a lot.
That's the size of the tank, not the consumption.
Hey, David, on the John Deere, I noticed there's no load bank test, fuel polishing, or auto transfer cost listed. Is that included in the price, or?
The load bank test, that would have to be acquired separately, but the quote on the fuel polishing,
Yeah.
we're not gonna need fuel polishing. I'm gonna burn that gas out every year.
On John Deere, there's nothing under enclosure other than aluminum.
That's what you get when you get informal specs. Unless you write a specific requirement in, they quote you back what they think they've heard you ask of them.
I assume the miles per hour on the other two is the wind worthiness, if there's a storm. So we don't know on the John Deere what its wind worthiness is. Nor do we know the decibel level for either Western Branch or James River. We have to get that information.
Where's James River located? Where's their closest place that could service the unit.
Gasoline.
But do you have a suggestion after looking at all this?
I asked the board for, to have it delegated to me last month. Y'all wanted the information to come back to you. I brought it to you. You need to make a decision.
I suggest we get more information from James River on the enclosure, and we can make a decision at the budget meeting next week. Because I don't think people are going to be able to come together quickly. Because, I mean, to me, that's rather important, is a comparison of the decibel level and the windworthiness. My opinion.
I agree with the decibel level concern. For sure. How quick can we get this information? Because we need to pull the trigger on this.
I mean, I'll ask them.
We're renting one, so.
And the cost of a load bank test. So that there's comparison in every line.
Anybody got anything else to say?
We'll let David check on those two items, okay?
What was, there were 3 items.
3
That's
items.
for that wind load.
Wind load, decibel level, and the load bank test.
Like David, on all of them, are they all those covers, are they all aluminum?
All of them.
Okay, and can we just for the sake of it, can we ask, like on stainless, just to see if they even make such a thing? Because it'll be more likely to last longer. I mean, aluminum's gonna last longer, it just depends on how heavy it is and everything, it'll last a long time. But it may be something just to look at that may be worth, paying a few more dollars for in the long run. Okay?
Do you want that information acquired for, the specific things was the wind load from James River, the decibel level from James River, and the cost of the load bank test for James River, right? That was the logic there, was to compare it against the Gregory Pool.
Yes.
Did they have the wind loading,
It was just what they quoted.
did they quote wind loading on it? What it was, or does it just say wind loading? Because they'll all be required to be wind loaded, can't be put there.
If John Deere was just the only one without the wind load on it,
What I'm saying is that
it's probably wind loaded.
it has to be, I can't permit it,
We
Yeah.
just don't have a number.
yeah.
But the stainless steel enclosure, would that be to have all 3 of them quote a stainless steel enclosure, or just the James River and Gregory Pool? Or y'all want to discount Western Branch off the top?
I think Western's way out irregardless, so we just knock him out.
I agree with that. I think it's between the other 2, James River and Gregory Pool. Gregory Pool's in Wilmington, correct? Leland.
So they're both.
Gregory Pool's in Garner.
Huh?
Garner. I mean,
Got one in
they
Garner.
have an office there in Leland,
Right,
but who we're dealing with is out of Garner.
okay. get that information quick again, and then we can go ahead and make a decision and go.
Yeah, we need to get it out there.
All right, we ready to move to number 8? Scheduling a public hearing for the budget. You got anything to add before we address that, Ms. Hewitt?
Just that I cannot make the 27th, is that the Wednesday, next Wednesday, when we'd originally set up to make the pre-draft get-together? I've got a personal conflict, and would ask that we do that on the 28th. The clerk sent an email out this afternoon.
What time in the afternoon?
I'm at your beck and call then on 28th.
As long as it's later in the afternoon, it's any time that's good for you guys.
4? Is that what we did last time?
The last one was 4 o'clock on the 27th.
Yeah.
So 4 o'clock on the 28th.
But that was just the input or the preamble to this item on holding the public hearing on the proposed budget though.
Okay with that, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay.
The 28th is just a budget workshop is what it is. The public hearing that Heather's talking about, I believe is the 16th.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, make sure I've got this right. The 16th is a public hearing.
Yes.
At 7 p.m. at the start of the next board meeting.
Okay. 7 o'clock public hearing.
Before y'all take a vote on doing that, you should know that because of COVID and the remote proceedings, there is a requirement that you add 24 hours onto the back of that before you can adopt the budget. So if you hold the public hearing on the 16th at 7 o'clock, you cannot enact it until the 17th at 7 o'clock, excuse me, I say 7. The
16th.
public hearing is 16th, 7 p.m. You can't act on it until the next day at 7. And Heather will have a suggestion that the action be taken the next day, right?
Right, to recess that board, if you guys want to vote on the budget that day, recess the meeting until 24 hours later so you could take the vote and you could allow time for extra public comment for anybody who wasn't able to attend in person.
So we need to put in our schedules 16th at 7 o'clock and the 17th at 7 o'clock.
We could either do the 17th at 7, or if you guys want to do the following day anytime, the 18th. It just has to be 24 hours at least.
It's just a formality, right?
Correct. Right. So you could discuss it and make any changes to the budget after the hearing, but then you can't formally adopt it for the 24 hours afterwards. So anytime after that.
Is the 17th a Wednesday?
Yes.
Just while we're on a roll there, you don't have to adopt it on the 17th at 7 o'clock. You can roll it on to the end of the month, regardless
Just so it's
on
before
what
the
comes
30th.
in.
Just before the 30th, right?
By the 30th.
31st.
31st.
30,
Days in June.
30, right?
Yeah.
30 in June?
Yeah.
It's technically the 1st of July that you got to do it by.
Okay.
Got to do it by.
The number of that, okay. All right. Okay, do we have any other issues to deal with on that? Do we need a motion or anything on that?
A consensus is fine if that's fine with you guys.
You've got a consensus, a unanimous consensus. All right, on the move dates. Town manager.
The inlet hazard areas is still unknown after we made our input. As I briefed last month, the CRC April meeting has been canceled. The June meeting is still to be determined. Tim's working on staying engaged with Ken Richardson to make sure, and others, there to make sure that nothing happens that we're not aware of, or can make sure that we're involved in how that process unfolds. Personnel-wise, Officer Roman has resigned, about 4 to 6 weeks out on that, so we will have another, an additional vacant police officer position. We filled the one that we just had with Brandon Dozier coming in and helping us out. Lift Station 3, the columns are on the sewer lift station 3. The columns are poured. We're working on the slab. We've got the skid for the vacuum pumps on site, ready to dovetail that with the construction that's going on up top. There's a progress meeting for next week that'll coincide with the anticipated completion of Loving's second floor reinforcement steel placement and the engineer's on-site inspection. You got a copy of that. Brunswick Avenue paving job is complete. The Lockwood Folly Inlet Crossing Maintenance Project, we think it's finished. The sidecaster operations appear to be complete, but the hopper dredge status, the Merton, is unknown at this time. I haven't seen it operating out there, so maybe it'll be here or it's been otherwise utilized somewhere else. We haven't been communicated as such, if that's the case. We've been attempting to talk with the Corps to discuss the least cost method of disposal in the Lockwood Folly Inlet and the 50-year plan, but we just have been having trouble coordinating schedules. We anticipate that we're going to be able to get together with them and Pointer early in June. Looks like that we've completed about $60,000 worth of COVID-19 FEMA reimbursement requests, and in addition to that, we're still awaiting approval of the Dorian FEMA project worksheets, which is almost $15 million. Our Central Reach, or our Florence Michael project, that sand search is ongoing. We've got the vibra cores collected and are working on the archaeological survey requirements now. ATM Franway advises us that we should be ready to submit our permit by late June. As I've communicated previously, the special obligation bond legislation, which is very important to our Florence Michael FEMA reimbursement project, that legislation has been technically corrected, and we're back to where we were a year ago, so we're good to go there. Our annual beach monitoring surveys have been completed. They've been shipped over to ATM to do the analysis on it, and the way that the time frame on that works, it takes several months to run those models, and historically y'all see those in the fall. Tropical Storm Arthur doesn't appear to have caused any major impacts, but there is some scarfing, like waist high, chest high in some places, all up and down the beach. It looks like to me, I was on the Strand yesterday at low tide, and there's a large slug of sand in the near shore. You can kind of, in your mind's eye, you can picture it there. And the feedback from some of the social media is that there's a lot of the shells that were buried up in that original deposition. A lot of shells, shark's teeth, that kind of thing. So shelling is good. Our Sunday concerts, we've had to push the first 2 of the season over to July, so there's going to be a couple of weeks that are probably going to have a midweek concert and an end-of-week concert is what we're thinking will occur, and we will evaluate all of those future concerts based on gathering guidelines from the governor. Scotch Bonnet site continues to dry out. Not sure what all the rain this coming week is going to do, but there's a lot of vegetation growing on the berm, which we hope will keep the Division of Water Quality happy. And that's all I have.
Any questions of Mr. Hewitt? Hearing none, mayor's comments. Does anybody know what the fire was today? Why the fire trucks were,
Rescue squad.
okay. Trash, I had several complaints about the trash on the beach, and of course, whenever you have an unexpected crowd like we had last week, I'm sure the rest of you were shocked like I was at the number of people that were here, and the contract with the company to pick up the trash from the trash cans on the beach strand starts the beginning of the summer and does not run in the all season. The town maintenance department picked up the trash cans and all the debris around them Monday morning immediately following the weekend, and so that was done. Thought it was interesting. I still had emails coming to me Monday morning through the day that reminded me how poorly the town was doing, and yet the trash had already been picked up. So anyway, I'm sure everybody was well intended, but the trash was addressed as best it could be done, and it's history. We have altered the emergency status by opening the restrooms under the bridge, and the question is, well, how are we cleaning them and so forth? With all the bad weather we've had the last 24 hours, there certainly has not been much traffic. I don't think there's been a problem. The town will have the restrooms cleaned at a much more regular basis, and making it ready for the expected crowd this coming weekend and beyond into the summer. I've gotten a lot of comments and inspiration to open the playground out here by the water tank, and so far I have endured the abuse. I would like to hear some comments from the commissioners on that, if anybody's got any strong feelings one way or the other. I think it's interesting to note that we have had some people sitting at the picnic tables at the park, behaving themselves and don't see any problems, but technically the park is closed. So does anybody want to say anything about that?
I think we should leave it closed for a bit. I honestly do. I know that, right now, we're not full up. And yeah, I've seen people there, and you've got distinct families sitting at a bench or something. All I would ask is, if you get every one of those benches full of people, is that social distancing? That's my concern. If we get it full in there, that's going to be a problem.
Anybody else got anything to say? I just wanted some feedback. All right, that concludes my report.
Whoa.
Chris?
I think in phase one, I read the site again today, and I'll need to go back and double check that this was right, but I think in phase one, they encouraged state parks to open, but I don't think playgrounds officially open until phase two. I might need to double check and read that again, but as far as the governor saying playgrounds can open, I believe it's in when he opens phase two.
Well, I keep getting reminded that Brunswick County parks appear to be open.
I think the open space is different, but the playgrounds itself might be captured in phase two, but I can check on that again.
Okay. Mr. Brown, you got a report for us?
Stay safe. Everybody stay relaxed. Let's just hope for, it was amazing this past weekend. I made a couple trips across the bridge, and the folks that were here, we had a really large crowd, but we just want to realize we need to keep up with that social distancing and, really push that. And it's good to see the sign, like having the sign up here maintained, that's really good. And let's just stay safe.
Mr. Tyner?
I got one announcement for the chapel. We have I'm treasurer of the chapel. We have put together a committee that is going to look at how we can reopen the chapel in the near future, but we don't have any dates for opening the chapel. I have noticed, particularly on my walk the last couple of days, people are getting, I guess, a little lax on social distancing. Last week, people would try to separate when you're walking down the sidewalk. This week, they don't care, but I am starting, like I said, to see a little bit lax on that, but I think that's to be expected. I think people are just fed up with the whole thing. And I have received a couple emails just thanking us for taking the incremental approach at what we did. And Alan, I know you probably get a lot more emails than the rest of us do, but we appreciate you taking all the brunt of the of all the gratitude you're getting.
Brian Murdoch.
Alan, I would say if, I didn't comment on the part, but I will. If we're gonna keep it closed, we're gonna have to have a little more enforcement. Everything's been torn down over there and people are using it, so be aware of that. We continue to face huge challenges getting this place back open, and you know, guys listening out there and everybody, we have to continue to be reminded of what's out there that we could face at any minute. So let's hope this goes really well. I pray that all you guys stay safe and use your heads and just take care of yourselves, and we'll get through it. You've had a tough job of it, Alan, and we have too, so we'll just keep moving forward the best we know how to do.
Oh, indeed. Mike Sullivan.
I would just like to remind the people who are listening that we're in the process of doing the 2020 census, and as of today, 13.5% of the people in Holden Beach have responded.
Oh.
The state number is 56.9%. It's important, even though we're a small community, that we have everybody respond to the census, because money and other things that we could use get appropriated by the number of people that you have. So even though we're a small community, I would ask that everybody take the time, and it takes about 3 minutes to do it. If you go to my2020census.gov, you can do it online, and it's very simple.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Pat?
Yeah, I just have a comment about trash, and it's not trash on the beach. I think we've got to get the word out as our season progresses to visitors again about your trash is supposed to be in a bag, not just thrown loose in the bin, because we've got a lot of overflowing bins, and with wind we've got stuff blowing around. Reminding them that trash is supposed to be in the bins, not bags along the side. Again, you could tell there were a lot of people here, and there were a lot of partying people, because there was a whole lot of trash. And it was pretty ugly looking driving down Sunday with heaps and bags and overflowing bins and stuff thrown around. So I would just encourage us to get the message to the rental management companies to gently remind visitors how we're supposed to pack up our trash. And we're not even in season yet, and it was bad.
Okay. We through with their comments, and I guess we're looking at number 12 on the agenda. Mr. Tyner, you want to make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion. We go into executive session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A6 to discuss qualifications, competence, performance of a public officer or employee. And also, as we amended the agenda, and you struck me, do I need to read the second one too?
It's already in the record.
Okay, it's already record. So I'll make a motion, we go into executive session.
Second.
Madam Clerk, you want to read your famous words?
He actually just read what I'll do it again, but he actually read it for me.
Okay.
Do you want me
Well, I just want to give you a chance, and once you say
to? You made me feel left out, but it's okay.
I'm sorry, I'm still learning. I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
You're doing good. Everybody's doing good. All right. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. unanimously agreeing to go into executive session and address the amended agenda.